Welcome to RankRhino, where you can learn it all. Today, we're taking a look at the top 10 worst comedies of the 2010s, at least in our opinion. In this list, we're going through the comedies that had jokes that were so bland and ineffective that you could hear crickets chirping in the movie theaters. Number 10. Paul Blart, Mall Cop 2.
Maya, you okay?
I'm okay.
Well done.
The original Paul Blart Mall Cop didn't really set the world on fire, so it was surprised that they made a sequel 6 years after the original. And well, the sequel is even more unfunny. All of the humor and jokes in Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 revolve around fat people. No, really, that's it. To be fair, the movie attempts some slapstick humor, but it all goes full circle back to fat people.
Mr. Blart. Sorry to startle you, sir.
It's okay.
The supposed funny scenes in this movie feature fat people dancing, fat people on segways, fat people attempting to move without knocking something over. I think you get the point. The issue is that the movie doesn't get it, as it's entirely focused on these types of scenes for comedic effect. And well, most people that watched the movie weren't too impressed. Considering the original already had a negative reception, the sequel's writers could have done a much better job. Number 9. Holmes and Watson.
You. What have you done with Sherlock?
Why, Watson? I never left.
There have been plenty of movies with different interpretations of the Sherlock Holmes novels, but Holmes and Watson sets itself apart by being an incredibly boring comedy. The movie's script feels very outdated, with the majority of jokes not landing at all. Starring Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly, two of the funniest actors in the business, it's surprising that the humor is basically non-existent. Maybe the writers were expecting that having Ferrell and Reilly would be more than enough to make a good comedy.
Spectre of conundrums. The great Sherlock Holmes!
To be fair, Holmes and Watson at least isn't offensive as opposed to most of the other entries on our list. The movie is simply a compilation of flat jokes that put people to sleep. It's a shame really, as many scenes have potential for some hard-hitting punchlines that would have at least gotten a chuckle from the audience. Number 8. The Emoji Movie.
Okay, you can do this.
As we move into the digital era more and more, we're constantly getting introduced to new concepts. One of those concepts is an inseparable part of everyday lives: emojis. Now, most of us use emojis while texting, but that doesn't mean we need a movie about them. I mean, I also use a toothbrush every day, but that doesn't mean we need a movie about toothbrushes. Still, there is an Emoji Movie, and it's mediocre.
I'll have a bottle of Hack Daniels.
The plot of the Emoji Movie revolves around an emoji named Gene who feels bad about being able to make multiple facial expressions while all the other emojis can only make one. And that's pretty much everything. The story and all the jokes revolve around this bland concept. Well, the movie also features Patrick Stewart playing a talking piece of poo, although I'm not sure if that makes it any better. Number 7. Zoolander 2.
Hello! My gosh.
The original Zoolander was undeniably a great comedy. It featured a ton of memorable scenes, some great satire, and there was even a David Bowie cameo. Zoolander 2 arrived 15 years after the original, and it was an absolute failure, with the movie being criticized for its randomness and confusing punchlines. Most of the jokes don't really have a setup either, with them just being aimless and gimmicky, which, to be fair, can also be said about the entire script.
What?
Frozen chocolate gelato!
Zoolander 2 rarely has any original jokes, it has random celebrity cameos that don't seem to serve any purpose, and the script is incredibly lazy and full of gags that were dated on arrival. Zoolander and Hanzo also seem really bland as characters, with them lacking the energy that made the original film so good. This movie really is an example of how a sequel can ruin the legacy of a beloved franchise. Number 6. Dirty Grandpa.
Shadia, this is my...
Dr. Richards. I teach history at the University of Georgia.
Robert De Niro has played leading roles in classics like Taxi Driver and Goodfellas. He's also won multiple Academy Awards. Now, imagine him playing a leading role in a gross, trashy, offensive comedy in which he plays the role of an old man that keeps making inappropriate remarks and makes you cringe. Well, that's the plot of Dirty Grandpa. What's worse is that the movie does no favors for Zac Efron's career either, who was seemingly cast so he could spend the majority of the film shirtless.
Hey, who is that?
The movie is full of homophobia and sexism, and the punchlines rely on bigotry and misogyny. Understandably, many critics describe it as one of the worst films they've ever seen. All of this makes it a huge stain on Robert De Niro's career. Luckily, the movie is also incredibly forgettable, which is why we haven't put it any higher on our list. Number 5. Saving Christmas.
Oh, he's fine, really. He's just not into Christmas this year, that's all.
Christmas is one of the jolliest times of the year. Families get together, everyone gets presents, and there's plenty of great food. It's only natural there are many comedies about the holiday, and Saving Christmas is one of those comedies. Well, it's a really bad one, but it is about Christmas. While most other Christmas movies are all about the positive emotions and lessons that the holiday teaches us, the writers of this movie decided not to focus on any of that.
Everything you see inside there, it's all about Christmas. It's all about Jesus.
Saving Christmas is all about Kirk Cameron telling the audience that Christmas is all about greed, gluttony, and materialism, and how people saying season's greetings instead of Merry Christmas is ruining the USA. Yeah, I'm not sure what all that's about either, but that's everything I got from the movie. The film doesn't really seem to have any redeeming qualities, and you do yourself a favor if you just watch another Christmas movie. Number 4. Movie 43.
Several of them, I'm telling you, don't knock shopping on TV until you've tried it.
Movie 43 boasts a cast of some of the most talented actors you could get for a comedy. It also does an incredible job of showing how ineffective toilet humor is at making a good movie. Realistically, it's not a movie as much as a compilation of gross comedy sketches with famous names. Basically, all of the movie sketches feature a gag that includes some kind of bodily function or private part. Practically everyone knows about the sketch where Hugh Jackman's chin featured a particular manly body part that required censoring.
I want to taste you. I want to lick you till you weep.
Movie 43 features plenty of other gross scenes with the likes of Halle Berry, Chris Pratt, and Jeremy Allen White. Most of the actors that appeared in this shambles of a film have since expressed regret that they took a part in it. It's understandable considering how trashy most of the jokes and gimmicks are. The only humor in this movie is seeing all these stars take part in the obscene sketches. Number 3. Fred the Movie.
Jeez.
Fred was one of the first YouTube celebrities, with him gathering millions of views before the platform became popular worldwide. Admittedly, the whole concept was already cringy when it first launched, so it's no surprise how awful its film adaptation is. The film's plot revolves around Fred and him trying to get the attention of his female classmate and failing to do so, while also annoying the audience and critics alike with his maddening screeching.
I have to avoid the woods.
Although the movie's plot and jokes are bad, the main criticism of Fred the Movie is precisely the screeching, with many people being incredibly harsh regarding this concept. Some critics even went as far as wishing bodily harm upon Fred. Considering the film had a budget of $4 million and featured a star-stacked cast, was there no one who realized how bad of an idea the high-pitched voice was? Number 2. Bucky Larson, Born to be a Star.
If you're nude, just freeze him.
Bucky Larson, Born to be a Star is a typical R-rated comedy aimed at teenagers that think saying naughty words out loud is hilarious. No, seriously, the whole movie revolves around the fact that Bucky Larson is an unlikely adult film star due to him having buck teeth, wearing a dumb wig, and constantly speaking in a weird voice. And all of the movie's humor revolves around this concept. It's basically all jokes that make 14-year-olds roll on the floor laughing.
How you doing, Bucky Larson?
What line of work are you in?
I'm here to be in movies.
The punchlines in Bucky Larson, Born to be a Star are all very surface level and bland. The main character's personality quickly becomes disturbing, and while I understand why the movie is raunchy, it feels forced 99% of the time. While many R-rated movies that operate in the same niche have some redeeming quality or nostalgic element to them, this one is just bad. Number 1. Jack and Jill.
Are you whispering with a bullhorn or something? Everybody hears you. No, they can't.
Adam Sandler has proven that whenever he tries, he can make a truly funny movie. Conversely, he's also proved that he can make some real stinkers, and Jack and Jill is one of those stinkers. The movie revolves around Sandler playing the role of Jack, an advertising executive who does a ton of shameful product placement, and his socially inept twin sister, Jill. Yeah, he plays both roles. Jack and Jill can easily be described as a typical Adam Sandler movie, but without any of the humor. The script is incredibly formulaic, all the jokes are predictable and bland, and the scenes where he plays Jill are simply offensive. The movie also features Al Pacino, who might honestly be the only redeeming part of the whole film, although obviously not enough to save it from being awful. Most people didn't really have any expectations when this movie first came out, but they still left the cinema theater disappointed. Thank you for watching, guys. Is there a comedy that you absolutely regret watching? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe.